Hey there, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to another Sunday night watch chat. I'm your host, Bobby Legs. And yeah, it's been a long weekend. I've been looking forward to hanging out with you guys this evening. I'm looking back and forth with the camera. I'm sorry. I have a camera here, and it's just a little bit of a upgrade compared to the camera that I have here on my laptop. And so I'm not always looking directly at you, but I hope that's not a problem. Anyway, it kind of looks like I'm looking at the chat box that's down here below, right? Anyway, hey, Wayman, good to see you. What's going on? Hoping you're having a great weekend in the New York City area. It was hot this weekend, but I think we're getting a break from the heat, and it's going to be a nice, cooler week ahead. I don't know if we're getting rain or whatnot. We've gotten quite a little bit of a drought situation, but we did get some heavy downpours a couple days ago. So that's been okay. In the midst of baseball season, right? I'm an Oriole fan, but uh, with the exception of like last year and maybe a couple years ago, it hasn't been that great being an Oriole fan. So, but the family here, my wife and the kids, they're huge Mets fans. So, Mets are having a rough spot. So, getting excited, about baseball, and hopefully the Mets can make a run. So everybody on the team, on the legs team, is happy for the Mets team. Hey, Rick, what's going on? How you doing, bud? Good to see you. Peter C is here. Um, Wait a minute, you just bought a watch. Do tell us. MD Chaz, good to see you here. Hey, I was trying to get my buddy Deech to come on. I don't know if you guys remember Deech. He was the Brewers. Oh, yeah, I know. They swept the Mets, I think, in during that streak. Um, hey Nathan, how you doing? I was trying to get my buddy Deech to come on. Hopefully we'll get him on soon. He's got a great Facebook group called Wasting Time, and I think that's what it's called. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I remember the group. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And yeah, he also has a good following there, and there's some good talk going on there. Hey, Mr. O'Neill, good to see you. Hey, Maison, how you doing? You're wearing your Mad Swiss red one here. Oh, and that reminds me, I am wearing this piece. I don't know. Did I show this last week? I don't know. This is a watch that was sent in um, by a good friend, my friend Joe Chang, to the channel. It's a Chinese watch, right? It's Zhenggun. Hey, Penny. Yeah, good to see you, man. Caliber is here. Oh man, I'm so bad with it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It is Zheng Zhenghun. Zhenghun? Zhenghun. It's trippy. It's trippy. The dial. The dial reminds me, like when you like play around with it, like and check all the angles. It reminds me of those posters you saw at the mall where you have to stare at it and then you see something, right? And that's the kind of vibe I get from this one. Let's see here. You're not gonna get a really good focus on this watch. Oh, there you go. So like it's like kind of like trippy and um a Chinese watch, so it could be 40% Swiss, right? You know what? Let's do like let's do an impromptu review of it. And when I mean impromptu, like I totally was planning on doing this. Anyway, so look, it's the oh man, how do I Zhanggun. I think I'm saying it Zhanggun. Oh, sorry if I'm butchering that. It's called the Time Vortex 39 millimeter watch. It's only 400, well, 458, but now you can get it for 428. It's got this gold, guilloche dial. I think they use that term loosely. I mean, look, I mean, if this is your thing, right? If this is your thing, this kind of dial, then it's a pretty good dial. It's a pretty compelling dial. There's like a trippiness to it, especially when you move it around. Like I said, it's like reminds me of those posters in the mall where if you had back in the day where you stare at it, then you could see like I don't know, like a lizard eating, I don't know, a truck, I don't know, whatever you saw, whatever you saw, dude. It took me like years to be able to see something. By the way, anyway, look, I'm not super crazy about the dial. I'm not super crazy about the dial. It is interesting. It is interesting. It wears really, really well. It's super comfortable on wrist. I mean, like the finishing for like a $400, $500 watch, it's not bad. Let's see here. Let me get this. Let me get on a larger screen here. I mean, like it fits really, really well. It's not that thick. The clasp is pretty good. Let's talk a little bit more um statistics here. Exit solo layout. Uh, just to get a little bit of a description, so you have something to think about when I'm describing this to you. Um, let's see here. I mean, like the finishing, new upgrading finishing technology, making things ultra thin, smooth. I mean, yeah. I mean, like it's got like a combination of like brushed and polished, chamfered polished edges, as you can see here on the dial. Screw down crown. Um, it's got the loom is decent. It's this BGW X1 loom, and it's powered by Miyota, right? I looked this up. This Miyota is like, the tolerances, time tolerances is -10 plus 30, right? Um, Again, 39 millimeter case diameter, 46 selector lug, 100-meter water resistance. Um, and it's not bad. I mean, it's not a bad watch um for what you're getting here, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, look at these links. I mean, like, not super articulate, right? A little stiff in appearance, but I mean, it doesn't feel stiff when you wear it, right? And this clasp is, milled clasp, and then you have some, micro adjusts like underneath here, right? Underneath, you could do some micro adjusting there. So, like, not bad, man. I mean, like, compared to a lot of other micro brands. I mean, like, it feels like it's like right kind of like in the same ballpark, but I don't know. It just feels really nice on wrist. It sits proud on the wrist. Is that what that means? It sits proud. Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that means. It's proud. It's proud though. I mean, I'm proud of wearing it. Um, let's see here. Interesting looking. Yeah, yeah. Elaine Silverstein and Louis Aurore was on my radar. Oh, you got one of those, huh? Looked into one. Couldn't resist. Impulse buy. No, I love those. I love that collab. Joe Chang has one of those, and he sent it into the channel. And I got to play around with it for a while. Yeah, I mean, not bad for 478. Not really that bad, Uh, not for me, but look. I mean, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't have. This is not a kind of watch I would buy, right? But I'm glad. I'm glad I have it now. You know what I mean? That's the sort of dial that I could get into. Oh, hey, there's a red one. I'm always so funny way, but I thought about you when I saw this watch. Not because it's just, well, because it's a Chinese watch too, but I mean, like, but I was like, oh, this would be really cool if they had it in red, because I know you like that, that red dial. And yeah. Hey, Raphael, how you doing? Good to see you. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's not bad. You know, I like having watches like this in the box. I do. I mean, like, I have the two GPs, right? I got the Panerai. I got a couple of Citizens. Um, I have this one. I got the Formex that Wolfie sent me. The one that Dib designed. Um, and it's a fun combo. It's a fun combo, man. What I got going on right now. Um, Fedora Gent, greetings from the San Francisco Bay Area. Yeah, greetings. Thank you for joining. I like fedoras. Yeah, so, like, I mean, like, it's cool. I mean, like, so, like, now what do I have? So I have the Swiss watch, right, with the GPs, and I guess Panerai is technically Swiss, right? But I mean, think of it as an Italian watch, and got a couple of Citizens, which is Japanese, right? Formex, which is also Swiss, and then I got this like Chinese watch, and then Mrs. Leg's Zen, the German watch. Only German watch in the collection. Only German one. Only one in the collection so far. Gonna have to change that hopefully one day. You know, when I build back the war chest after I got to. The kids, man, the kids just eat up so much of the watch budget, man. Like when my kids were really really small, yeah, but the biggest expense was food and diapers, right? But once they started going to school, because like we pay there's tuition for that, right? We're one of those guys who pays for the kids to go to grammar school, whatever the wife wants, and join the sports and all the clubs and all the stuff that they like and the hobbies. Man, the budget gets eaten away. Like I thought like in those early years with the kids, like oh, I'll be able to still buy watches. Oh no, oh no. Yes, sell the kids. Oh yeah, yeah. Maybe, maybe I'll have to sell the, or just like hope they really are very very successful and they buy their pops a watch. Uh, can you, Rob? I think I can translate, but can you answer, Raphael? With the opinion on the Casio lineage. I'm not really familiar with that one, Raphael. Um, let's see here. Peter, do you have an opinion on it? Let's see here. Is this? Let's see if this is it. Oh man, anybody else sick of like those cookies pop up? Ugh, enough already. Whoa, not found. What? This one right here? Yeah. I mean, like it's Casio, right? Multiband 6. I'm a big Casio. I like the square, the G-Shock square. I'm more. I know that there's like a Casio line of watches, and then there's like Casio G-Shock. I'm more of a G-Shock kind of guy when it comes to Casio and Casio G-Shocks. So this is to me. I mean, this is a fine watch. No problem with this one. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. But if it's you like it, get what you like. You know, it's a handsome looking watch. Um, Mrs. Legs is always absolutely. Uh, does that Casio have a sapphire crystal? Good question. What does it have a sapphire crystal? Can we find out? I'm thinking no. I'm thinking it's probably one of these like like mineral crystal. Okay, basic information. Here we go. Case titanium, water resistance, power supply, exterior. Oh, sapphire crystal. Wow. Okay. Okay. Sapphire crystal. I would not have guessed sapphire crystal. Solar power. Yeah. Okay. Fun. Fun watch. Yep. See. Yep. It has. Okay. Raphael's answering that. You got it. Yeah. Um. Wow. Yeah. I'm surprised too, Fedora Gent. I would have lost that bet too. That's a good pick for Cheap Casio for sure. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Okay. Here's a little bit more information on that particular Miyota movement. Yeah, I mean, like, not bad. I mean, like 10 plus 30 for 420 something dollar watch. You could do worse. How about that? You can do worse. So what's in this range? Roll right off the bat. What I could think of is like some sort of Seiko 5, right? That's that's safe to say like it's in this range, right? Whether it's MSRP is around 450 and you get it for cheaper, or if it's a little bit more, I don't know. Let's just say it's like in this range. Um, I don't know, man. I think I probably would rather have this than the Seiko 5. Got to be honest with you. this is more interesting. I mean, like the Sega 5 to me is, man. I mean, like I think most of them are just like gimmicks. Um, how about what's a more apt comparison here? I know we're saying in the highly, in the very super affordable here. I get it, and but we'll move on to some um, other releases and whatnot and topics. But now that we're kind of going down this little rabbit hole here around this price point, I want to see what what you can get for around this for this price range. Oh, the site's my internet's moving a little slow here. What's this brand that Nomon keeps pushing? Uh, Hitori. I feel like these watches are around that price point. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. Oh yeah, I'm wrong. Um. Oh, okay. So for let's see something a little bit more compelling here. Um. Yeah, yeah. Let's do this guy. Let's do this guy. 39 millimeter case diameter, just like the Zhangong. Again, I'm sorry. Um, Man, we're moving slow. The internet. Oof. Another watch with a compelling dial. I probably like this dial a little bit more. 357. Let's see here. Let's look at the specs. Okay, yeah, it's like some sort of lake, right? Some sort of lake. It's taking a page from the Grand Seiko playbook, right? Right? Look at that. It reminds me of a lake. I want to get on a boat. I want to get a boat on that. NH395, Japanese movement, automatic, 100-meter water resistance, almost same diameter dimensions, right? Um, for 357, I don't know. You can make an argument here that the Habuka is a little bit more interesting. You know, hey Wilson, good to see you. Oh, Vanko, you're like really pushing the fair agenda. I see. You had us looking at um the London or whatever it was called or last week. You just love that. You love that fair. I mean, it's a good, interesting company. Um, yeah. So I mean, this is like something that would be up against that. Now, I can't attest to the finishing on the case and bracelet on this, but man, I gotta tell you, man, this is like this one out here that I have on wrist. It really fits really really well. Um, and it looks good. It looks good. Like if I know what I know here now, I would take everything about this watch and maybe I would switch out that dial because this is more my level. But I'm not complaining about this dial. Do you know what I mean? I'm just being honest. More interesting in Moonswatch for sure, for sure. Um, yeah, you subscribe to a bunch of newsletters, right? You love that. You love that fair. You love it. You love it. Hey, before look, okay, I'm gonna test the waters here, conversationally with y'all, with y'all. I'm not gonna call you guys the Ladle Legion because it's not a Watch Soup episode, but most of you guys are Ladle Legion guys. I'm gonna test the waters a little bit here with you and see um, what you think here. I've been noticing that canned fish. Yeah, we're going there. We're going there. We're going to canned fish conversation town. Um, I've been noticing that it's having its day out there, man. Like canned fish is having a moment in society. What are you talking about, Bobby Legs? What are you talking about? Um, I'm talking about, social media, TikTok influencers, and I'm talking about like, Instagrammers, young people pushing the agenda of canned fish and how it's making it cool again, man. It's becoming cool to eat canned fish. So I had a conversation with Chat GBT, or just a little conversation. By the way, I've been using Chat GBT, the conversation piece to it. I think you need to have a subscription to it. It's not the free version. Having a conversation, and it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild having a conversation with it. And then like I've been starting to bounce some thoughts and ideas with it. And like it's funny now at this point, like when my wife and I are thinking about something, we're like, oh, what's how do we, instead of just like googling it, we just like put the microphone on and have a conversation with Chat about it. um and so like I asked Chat, is it, can fish having a moment? Look, here's the agenda, here's the reason why I want to talk about it. I like canned fish. I do. I do, and every time I bring it up, or it comes up in conversation, like in the last like few years, and it's not like it comes up in conversation a lot, but anyway, like sometimes like I talk to about diet with like my friends, like what are we eating, like whatever, whatever. Yeah, I know you don't really have conversations like that with people, but I do. And we're talking about, okay, you got to get the protein, you know what I mean? And so like I'll mention that, almost apologetically, that I will open up like a can of like sardines and eat that, like because I feel like that grosses people out. And to my surprise, man, there's more people than not are like, oh yeah, yeah, I like sardines too. You know what I mean? Like I like growing up, like it was very, like, I wouldn't call it poor people food, right? But like if you were on a budget, you know, especially like especially like when I was in my 20s, right? And I was like, living on my own, and I needed to save money for beer money for the weekends, like canned fish was like a budget, man. I mean, like tuna, of course, right? Sardines and whatnot. And so like, I mean, it's a thing, right? But it's like a really big thing now, right? And what's driving the canned fish craze? And like, like put in the comments. I want to know what you guys like, because I feel like exploring. I feel like exploring that. And look, I've gone down the rabbit hole. There's some great YouTube channels. Canned Canned Fish Files. The guy's awesome. The guy's like the Bob Ross of canned fish reviews. You're gonna say, what are you talking about, Bobby Likes? Especially those who do not live in the United States, who don't know who Bob Ross is. Just to give you a little bit of picture, we have a public broadcasting channel here in the United States. I don't know if it exists anymore. You know, um, because of the current administration, but maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Anyway, it was like free programming, right? And there was a guy. His name was Bob Ross, and he was an artist, and he would do paintings, and like you would follow along and do those paintings. And he had like a very, very soft and calm demeanor, and was very, very uh funny. And I don't know if he meant to be funny about how he would like describe colors and whatnot. And he became almost like a an icon, like a pop icon. I mean, he is a pop icon. I mean, he's long since passed. Anyway, the guy reminds me this Fish Channel, um, like a like a Bob Ross version of it, and it's like it's hilarious. It's happy, happy little fish. Exactly. Let me go back before I read some more. Oh no, sardines. Yeah. Uh, yeah. I Canned fish. Now I have a desire for a Seiko tuna. I do not do canned fish, let alone I do not do fish, no, alone canned fish. But do you? But Maison, I mean, like, I mean, like in the UK, I believe that's where you're from. There's got to be like some. You guys got are into canned meats, or interesting like meats like that are like kind of like, right, right. Dude, it's all about the kaku cow. miso mackerel from Japan. Yeah, yeah. I gotta look that up. Um, I was watching a couple of videos by Sardi. Yeah, it's crazy, right? I mean, there's some really great ones out there. At the moment, my go-to fish is Rungan fish, herring fillets, and peppers. Wow. Okay. See, this is great. This is great information, man. Because like when I go to the supermarket, like the choice is limited. It's like King Oscar. It's like the one with the lady on it. There's Bumblebee, um, and some others, right? And for a long time, I stayed in the sardine lane, right? I like them in the olive oil. My wife likes them in water. It's like water, really? Ugh. And I can go back and forth with like skinless, boneless, and it gets a little dry, skinless, boneless, or like with skin and bones. My kids don't like the skin and bones. They get freaked out about it. So like that I have a stash for that. But I went on I went shopping yesterday and I got anyway. Um, Middle-aged guys like me talk about healthy food, canned fish being part of that again. Nice. Okay. All right. So like, not alone here. I don't know if I could eat a can of sardines. I can sure eat a can of oysters. So yeah, I mean, those are good too, man. I found this one brand, Maritz. I don't know. It's from Spain, and they have like canned mussels, and I enjoy that. Peter C. No good memories for me. Uh, Rick says no. Student food for me was baked beans and toast. Are you English, Nathan? That sounds like a very English thing. Um, Nathan Von Crow, happy little trees and that kind of right, exactly. Happy little fish. You mean spam? Yes, yes, spam. Cue music plays. I mean, was that a thing for you, Maison? I mean, we had my mama had spam. Like we would do that once in a while, right? Um, Sushi. I love sushi fish to you, man. Um, Sardines and oil were a pandemic survival food, right? Yeah. Sardine and Marmite on masa. Ooh, that's wild. That's wild way, man. I didn't picture that coming from you. I didn't know. No, interesting. Anyway, so social media, TikTok's tinned fish date night was a trend. And it was all about cracking open tins of sardines, octopus, mussels, and arranging them in a charcuterie. How do I say this? I forget how. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's on board. I can't. I've always had a problem saying this word. Charcuterie. I've always had a problem. Camera ready meal. These videos have racked up millions of 10,000, views. Influencers of foodies love posting campfire setups with vibrant packaging. Pandemic pantry reinvention here to Raven's point. During lockdowns, Tinfish surge in the pantry staple. Health and sustainability, yada yada. Get your omega threes, yes. Smash Ackerman. I did not. Okay, salmon, mackerel, anchovy, sardines, and herring. Yeah, kipper snacks. I found out there's a thing, right? So like last year, I had gone to Denmark with my family, and we typically when we travel, we'll say like at a VRBO or a an Airbnb scenario. That's what we will do. And yeah, okay, let's forget about like the ups and the positives and negatives of that, and people and their and tourists and whatnot. But let's forget about that. But like when we landed in Denmark, we spent a couple of days in Copenhagen, 2 days. So we just did a hotel. In a hotel in the morning, great spread, man. Oh, what a great hotel. King something or other was called hotel. And they had a lot of smoked fish for breakfast, and it was great. And my daughter was into it, and I was into it. So I'm hoping to recreate that with those kipper snacks. Um, Culinary credibility, market growth, 44 44.3 billion by 2030. That's like that's the global 10. That's like I think like Ford is around like 40 something billion. Like it's as big as Ford. It's as big as Ford. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Rising voices and cultures, okay. Still growing strong. Market data, expert chefs, and continued buzz. Crest media suggests that this isn't just a fad. Rising voices. It's a quick, affordable way to have a healthy and luxurious feeling meal, said someone on Reddit. I definitely think it has become trendy and will continue to spread even more mainstream. Yeah. Yeah. Who wants to keep talking about this stuff? Bob Ross versus Pablo Picasso is one of the classic epic rap battles of history. Is that something? Is that like somebody do that? Somebody did that on YouTube or something? British, okay, but I live in Australia. Have you heard of roll mops? Pickled herring fillets rolled in what? Pickled herring fillets rolled in a cylindrical shape. Amazing. Mid-August time to watch. No, no. So I don't know. I don't know if I kind of so here's let me address that. Yeah, yes. Um and we will talk about watch releases. I am trying to fight the urge when I do this live stream. Obviously, Watch Soup is a totally different animal because we are conversing on content created by Watch content creators for that week. I am struggling with not just talking about watches. Like there's like other things I want to talk about, right? And I know you guys come here for the watches, and so like I don't want to ruin that per se. But there's times where I just want to talk about other things than just watches. I want to talk about watches, but I also want to talk about catfish. I want to talk about like AI. I want to talk about like a bunch of other stuff. I want to talk about sports, and I know there's like a fine line because you guys give me a little bit of room to talk about some of that stuff sometimes, but it's not a long runway. And I understand that, and I appreciate you coming for the watches, right? Um, but sometimes I would just like to talk about other things too. And and I love you too, Rick. No, this is good. This is healthy. This is not like I'm not taking any, and I hope you don't take it. You guys don't take any offense of what I'm talking about, and I certainly don't. I got a thick skin. I know we're just talking. We're just having fun. But that's what I just want you to know what's behind like me talking about Canfish. Right. It's not just because it's slow about watches. It's mid-August. It's slow. I mean, there are some releases, and we'll talk about that. But sometimes I also just have this inkling to talk about like something else as well with you guys, and then just test how long I can do that until you guys are like, okay, well, let's bring it back to watches again. Right. Um, far to the news. But who gives you get you okay, we'll bring it back. We'll bring it back. Must be slow to watch while we're talking about catfish. Oh, you got one of those vortex watches. Cool. Okay. Let's let's move on from catfish. But if you guys want to talk about other things, let's talk about other things, man. Nothing too crazy or divisive. We don't want to. I don't want to become like Paul Thorpe. I don't want to become that guy. Um, but like look, like a guy like Ocean O'Malley, when he does his live streams on a Friday, it's Friday Get a Drink. He talks about watches. He talks about other stuff too. And I know his channel is a totally different animal than my channel. And he probably has a way better way of articulating things, whether you agree with him or not, than I do. Um, but I like that format that he does. I don't know why. I just like that format. Um, and maybe it just works for him and not for anybody else, and that's fine. Sometimes people will quietly leave, but it's whatever. Okay. So what kind of movements do these canned fish have? Do they have an exhibition case or what's decorated? Um, so okay. So I've seen in these watch reviews, like now, like have your cans where you either like have a can open it up or a pull tab, right? can that it's like you pull the top of the metal, whatever aluminum, whatever it is made out of. There's like cans that have like a clear plastic cover, and then you could pull it. Like, and usually they put it in a box. But for me, that's Danger Town, man. That's danger. Like, what if it like, that just seems like you can do like it's not thick layer. I mean, it's thick enough to keep the contents from the inside coming out. But like, what if you like, or like had a handful of needles one day and just like and threw it on there, and then like now you have a leaky can, and so that exhibition style can. I don't see that working. I don't see that catching on. I mean, I've seen a couple videos where people review. There's canneries that are doing that. Is that right, canneries? But I don't know. It just doesn't seem wise. So I want a closed can case back on my canned fish. Lions lost their preseason game. Yeah, but who cares, right? Right? Were they even playing their starters? I mean, after the first quarter, they're gonna have a good season caliber, right? I mean, are they looking to, you think they're gonna repeat what they did last year? Yeah, they still got the quarterback, right? Ocean is interesting, but the streams are way too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, the dude loves to talk, right? Like the dude just loves talking, you know. Um, ID guy used to have long streams, but his streams, like he would just like people would just send him wrist shots, and he would like go through all of them. The guy was amazing. The guy was amazing. Those live streams were amazing, and it'd be great. Like it start off at like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock Eastern, and then you go out and you go to the food shop and whatever you had to do, or take the kids to the baseball game, come back, you still playing. But it was a different kind of okay being that long, right? Like Ocean, just hearing him talk all the time, can get a little bit old, especially when he's like doling out opinions. But like when it comes to like wrist shots, man, I mean, like ID guy, that was just like a master of endurance. You should walk through the streets of Jersey like he does Italy and talk about Jersey. Oh man. Well, look, I mean, where I am, there's nothing interesting where I am. I mean, there's just like farms and cows and horses and that kind of stuff. But where I originally am from in Jersey, yeah, that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting to take like a little selfie stick and just like walking around there. Man, I mean, not interesting like in a historical, ooh, we're in Venice kind of like, you know, just like really just like shady stuff going on. Rob, your video quality significantly better, just a new camera. So no, no, like I found, like I was just trying to find better ways. Like I had one of these Sony cameras that were, specifically meant for web development, webcam, you know, but it broke. It broke, and so I've been using like the computer camera for a while, and I just like I wanted to step up, you know, the camera action. I mean, like because it's grainy and whatnot. So I was like, there's got to be a way because my iPhone, like the quality, the videos and cameras. I mean, it's excellent, right? There's got to be the way to like I could sync my phone to StreamYard, right? Or and I found an app. I found like I forget what it's called. It's called Cam Studio. Is that what it's called? Is that what it's called? Can't be that simple, right? Yeah, it's called Cam Studio. And I have a Windows-based laptop, and you can sync your iPhone to it. So I got this is my iPhone. And what's great about this is that it doesn't take up like a lot of battery life. Like I'm surprised. Like it'll probably use maybe like 10 to 15% for a 1 hour stream. And I was surprised. I thought easily I was gonna run out of power because with the Sony webcam that I had, Like after like an hour, hour and a half, like the battery is done, right? When I was doing these web stream live streams. But this one, doesn't eat up a lot of power. Yeah, and I'm really really happy with the quality. Right? I mean, it's really really good. OSIN to me is like 60 minutes anyway. Yeah, but without the crazy eyebrows, right? No, precision doesn't mean too much. Yeah, yeah. I'm excited for football because I'm excited about my team, and my team is the Washington Commanders, as some of you guys know. I'm excited about my team. Okay. Hey, let's see what we got. I don't know if there's like too much action going on, as like Rick pointed out. Um, there might have been some new stuff coming out. Let's take a look. Interesting. I'm strong. RGM 222 Bremont. Go see the 70s. Oh, okay. So they're okay. Okay. Yeah. So just different dial colors. This is a great watch. I'm not just crazy. I'm not crazy about these colors. I'm not crazy about them. I like the blue dial. I seem to prefer blue dials lately. um, I like the blue dial. There was like this one greenish dial that came out with and it came out with a numbuk. I can't. This is another word I can't say. Numbuk strap. 70s that looked awesome. But for me, green I don't think would last long. Like that kind of green color would last long in the collection. Like if I'm gonna go 70s, and I would love to get one of these 70s Chronos one day. Like this is like in the short list. If I have a list of like a dozen watches, no, it probably wouldn't be like if I a list of 20 watches. Right, I know 21. I know that's crazy. Um, this would be the blue dial version of this watch would be in there in the top 20. Like in my top 20, like okay, let's talk about top 20. Um, top 20 watches. Right off the bat, I don't know if I'm gonna come up with 20, and I don't know if it's not gonna be in any particular order. Um, but Laureato, GP Laureato again, blue dial. Sticking with Glasuit, I mean, a panel reserve. Um, probably the silver dial. I think that looks great. And the 70s chrono with the blue dial. Now, uh, I could go rubber strap. I could go shower, but I'd probably go if I could afford it a bracelet. So that's three watches right there. Cartier Roadster. There's gonna be quite a few neo vintage, as you guys know. Cartier Roadster. Excuse me. And that um, Frank Muller Casablanca, another a neo vintage. I know. These are gonna be tough for some of you guys to wrap your head around that I like this kind of stuff. But yeah. So that's five timepieces right there. Um, yeah, I mean I like that Nomos Club World Timer. That would be another one. I'm just going through German watches right now. I want a Zin U50 back in the collection. I love that diver. I love that little watch. So much fun. Um, I'm off Zin for now. Other than the U50, um, mm, I don't know. I'm not really digging like the price hikes that they've been doing, and there's another price hike coming. Like now I think they're getting to a point where like it just doesn't make any kind of sense for me. Like what was great about Zin is okay, they no in-house movement, but they regulated it. They souped it up when they could. A lot of tech going around the watch. which I loved. Okay, the bracelet sucks, but I wasn't. I didn't need to live on the bracelet. Like with the U50, I would get that on a rubber strap, right? Wouldn't even bother. I love the Tegamented technology. I love all the other stuff that comes with it. But now they're like they're really reaching it. They're really reaching it, and maybe that's a sign of the times with inflation, blah 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 blah. But I think now the price points are just stupid. It's getting stupid. So anyway, so right now just the U50. Like, even though I was a big fan of the EZM 13, I like that watch, but yeah, maybe I'll hold off on that. Okay, what else? Maison, I love that CQ that you're looking at, but I think it'll be just too big on my wrist. But I love that big date CQ. I'm not gonna fantasize about watches that I'm not gonna be able to get. I'm not gonna put that on the list. I'm not gonna put like a Longa one on there, or any kind of Patek, um, or VC there, because I just don't. Just realistically, I just don't think those watches are in the cards unless I hit the lottery. But so that's the Nomos and the U50 make it seven watches. Um, I would love to. I would love to get the the root beer. I think that is like under. What is that, like 14, 15 now, 16? I don't know. Could be higher, right? That's probably like the most I would probably spend on a timepiece, realistically, down the road. So that, and me, I don't know. I mean, I always liked the Datejust 41. That could be a possibility, but I'd probably just if I could stick with one Rolex, it would be the root beer. That's the one for me. Omega, yeah, I mean, like, I think, yeah, I mean, I gotta do Omega, right? That's got to be in the top 20. Speedmaster, I like that the white dial Speedmaster that came out a few months ago. That's really grown on me. Yeah, yeah. The two-tone Seamaster with the blue dial and the Sedna gold. That's great. Okay, so we got 10 watches right there. Um, what else? What else am I thinking? Um, what else? Can I get a Breguet? Can I get a Breguet? Can I get an older uh Breguet? What is the Marina? Was it the Marina? Is it the Marina? The Marine? I love that watch. I love Peter PC. I think you have one of those, or used to have one of those. I think Deech had one of those. Did Deech ever get one of those? I mean, I know Amin had one of those too. Brigade Marine. That's an instant classic for me. Something from Benzinger, Joachim Benzinger, 12. Boom. Um, I would love to get that Kadoki 2 back. Maybe not in the salmon dial, maybe in the white dial, or maybe in the black dial, but I would love to get that watch back too. Now we're talking what we're 12. We're at 12 or 13. And then, what else? I said Roadster, but I think I would like like a Cartier Drive. I really like that watch, especially with the little moon phase on that one. I know they don't make those watches anymore, but I could also go Santos as well. I know Mrs. Legs wants to get a Santos. Do we go with his and her Santos? Yeah, yeah. I think that's a possibility one day, maybe. That'd be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? And then, you know, phew, you know, give me some Guilloche, man. I mean, I know that I got the Benzinger, but give me some more Guilloche. Um, that'd be interesting. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I mean, an Alpine Eagle. Oh yeah, yeah. So I have my top two favorite integrated bracelet watches, right? Got the Alpine Eagle and the Laureato there. Love it. Um, that's great. Now I think I'm closer up to like 15 watches. Um, and whatever, a couple gold timepieces somehow, like an older Parmigiani Toric, you know, um, or Tonda in gold. Got to go in a minute. Dinner time is here in the West. Would stick around for more fish talk. LOL. Hey, we're gonna bring back the fish talk. Maybe not tonight. But eventually, I got a couple kipper snacks. I got a couple um, sardines in jalapeno sauce. Got to try those. Got a set of those. Yeah, yeah. What am I missing? I'm missing a couple of watches in there that I know that I want to get eventually. Um, I would love to get a Grand Seiko. Um, I think their dials are compelling. Um, and then something with a manual spring drive would be interesting for me. I like the manual watches. I don't know if you guys could tell. Um, Good night, sir. Good night to you. Thanks for stopping by. And then what else? What else? Hmm. Hmm. I'm sure there's more timepieces that will come to mind later on. But yeah, man, there's a good 20 watches. Good 20 watches that I would love to have. I don't know how I got there. I don't know. Oh, because we were talking about this watch. We were talking about the 70s. Okay. Let's take a look at a couple more, and then I got to turn in. Got a long day, a long week uh, at work this week. I got a couple of weeks. I'm heading a project on a redesign on an internal learning platform that we're doing. So I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone because I am more of a developer, not much, not really done any project managing before. So this is like kind of like my first attempt at it. It's going okay. It's going well. We're in the wireframing stage. Anyway, let's see here. Okay, far the Integra. There it is. There it is. I know Von Krul was. I think this is the one he was talking about. Yeah, yeah. A couple of my watch friends were talking about this week. I know Dib liked this style, the Malachite. Um, this one's interesting. I like this bracelet. I think that's a rubber bracelet as opposed to the bracelet. I mean, it's interesting. I think the beef that I heard on Cruel, and I think I heard this from like Joey B. He did not like the date window. And then I think the intern had mentioned that the size of the indices, the numbers here, seem to be a little bit too big for the dial space. So I think there was something like that going on. But otherwise, they almost nailed it. They almost nailed it. I'm sure it's a good watch. I think this has a Salida 300, right? Yeah, it does. Salida 300, and you're looking at a 1695 US. Not bad. Not bad for a Salida 300 movement. 200 is crap. The 300 is a really good movement. Um, yeah, not bad. One more, shall we? Oh yeah, Omega launched these Aquaterras. I like these. I like these. You have a ceramic bezel, looks like here, right? Fume dial, not bad. I mean, I don't know if I'd run out and I do love them on these. I love these rubber straps that they have them on. All of the Aquaterras. I just love that little pattern that they have here on these, and the stitching matching the dial. I think that's a very well thought out move. Look on surface. This is, I think, an interesting watch. I do like it. I think the color is nice, and Omega in the next couple of years will dabble in different colors here with this one. I got no beef with this watch. I know some people. I heard some people this week having some beef with it, um, but I got no beef with this watch. Um, I thought the light was better because the Christmas tree it's not sorry on the tree light. Oh man, we got rid of when did we get rid of the Christmas tree in March? Man, it was a big Christmas tree. It was like the biggest one we had. Otherwise, I had, it was the first time I brought the chainsaw inside the house. Like I had to bring the chainsaw. Like the reciprocal saw was just like not doing it. Like I had to go in with the chainsaw. I had to bring my Husqvarna chainsaw in the house. Oh man. Formex Studio Stratus UTC 41 GMT is an amazing to did I miss it looks like I missed some of these comments, guys. I guess I didn't realize. The RGM triggers my OCD. um Fair bezels look like a scratch monster. Yeah. Uh, I'm wearing I'm wearing the oh you got the Omega? You got that one, Captain said? Awesome. Good for you, man. Those AT rubber straps are so comfortable. Oh yeah, yeah, Bill. Yeah, do you, okay. I mean, I've tried it on and I agree. Yeah, I like it. Look, I don't know. Look, I'm the one Aquaterra that I'm a sucker for is the small, the 41 small seconds in the two tone with the blue dial and the setting gold. There's something about that watch and the Seamaster with the blue dial, a two tone setting gold. And the blue strap. That is just, I don't know, man. It just hits me in all the right spots. I should add that. That should be in my also my 20 watches too list. It's just so good looking. And this is I mean like as Aquaterra goes, um this is up there in the ones that, deserve serious consideration by me. I mean like everybody's different. But I like this. I really this and usually ceramic doesn't really, do anything for me. Like, oh yeah, okay, it's a different, material. Okay, cool. But I think like what held me back was the high polishing on the Aquaterra, especially on the bezel. Although it doesn't bother me with gold. I don't know. It's just I'm just complicated. Yeah, chainsaw on the house. I know. I agree on the two tone team master being this. Thanks, Captain. I appreciate that. Okay. Okay. Was that Formex near? Somebody spoke about it. Yeah, this one. Um, man, these guys are gonna get clout. I mean, like if they don't do anything about the tariffs, and I know that's in court actually, but if it stands at 39%, and let's say they don't know, I mean, let's just pretend that the courts are not an issue, or that it will get negotiated down because it hasn't so far. Formix is gonna get crushed because I'm pretty sure they do a lot of their sales or most of their sales in the U.S. They're just gonna get crushed. Um, so is this so I guess this is a one of those asteroid dials or not asteroid? What am I saying? Um, Meteorite dials. Yep. I mean, pretty cool. I don't think this is somebody mentioned GMT. This is not a GMT. Maybe they did release a GMT. Um, yeah, I mean, it's in essence with a meteorite dial. Okay. I like Formax. I do. I do, guys. I like Formax. I'll admit it. Jeez. They use these Solida 200 movements on it. Not. I mean, I just rather they just use a Miota, man. The 9 series, like a higher end 9 series Miota movement. I don't like the 200. Whatever. Can you get those? Does it have to be Swiss to be cost certified? Maybe that's what I don't know. Um, yeah. Oh, I just love these set and go. I mean, like, I'm not. These are not my favorite, but I love this set and gold here on the left. The case. Mm, mm. Christian asking a titillating question. Bobby, how do you think Breguet would do under Rolex leadership? You kidding me? Like Breguet would be huge. I think you know this, Christian, right? Um, but under the Swatch umbrella, it seems like Breguet for the longest time has been taking a huge backseat for whatever reason, right? I mean, I'm sure there's reasons for that, and um, and I am not as smart as those big shots at Swatch, right? Because they're, obviously, they know what they're doing. But yeah, I mean, I think any brand or most brands, especially brands with like a name, like a legacy, heritage, like Breguet, under like the leadership of Rolex. See, like Rolex would just focus on Breguet. Like let's say that happens, right? So you got Rolex and their umbrella, you got Tudor, right? Uh, The attention doesn't get divvied up like it would under Swatch, right? You would think that um, if Rolex gives it the leadership gives it a fair shot to Breguet, like it's going to perform, right? Under the guise that Breguet's been bought by Rolex and it's under leadership, people will flock to Breguet because if Rolex, bought them and took them under their wings, then then it must be good, right? It's perception, right? Um, it's a fun little thought experiment, right? It's a fun thought experiment, you know, for a brand for Rolex to buy Breguet. Like that's a fun. Yeah, I mean they would do great, you know. Would be interesting is like how much independence would Rolex give Breguet, like they seemingly do for Tudor, right? Right. I mean, like like Tudor seemingly seems have some leeway to run how they run. Obviously, I mean, and I think there's like some decisions or a lot that gets rolled up to the Rolex brass, and they're like, oh, yeah, no, you don't want to do that. Like, maybe you don't want to cannibalize the GMT, and you know what I mean. Like, so there would be some of that. Now, Rolex is very, um, I would say, like sports watch heavy, right? Like when I think of Rolex, I don't think of dress pieces. I mean, I know they got the 1908, right? And that's their dressy piece. That past that the Cellini. Look, I mean, like not really famously known for their um, dressy pieces, right? More of a sporty kind of like watch, right? I mean, I know people use they just set 41 interchangeably, right? I mean, it could be a dress piece, it could be a even the Submariner people use it as a dressy piece, right? Dressy diver, but they're more of a sports watch, right? Breguet, on the other hand, more formal pieces, right? I mean, I know they have the Type 20. Okay, that's the closest thing they have to a sports watch, right? In my opinion, the Breguet Marine is their diver, but is it really a dive watch? I mean, maybe spec wise, I mean, maybe it's got the water resistance, but I mean, it's like the nicest looking, the most formal um, wear looking diver out there. One of those. So would they, would Breguet's um, formal pieces really, really excel under Rolex leadership? Um, that would be interesting. That's where I think like Brigade could really really um, see a lot of success under a Rolex guidance and money and marketing. You know, Brigade by Rolex, Brigade Tradition by Rolex. No, I mean I'm not saying that there will be any Rolex branding on it, but how interesting would that be? You know, I think yeah. I mean I think whatever is going on in the Swatch group, it's not working for that brand, and I hope that changes because it's a great brand. It's legend, man. It's legend. I don't know. Did I answer that, Christian? Did that make sense? What do you think, Christian? What do you think? Um, I didn't see that video. This watch that I watch on the problems with the Swatch group. I know I saw that in my feed. I love his videos, but man, it's just like they're long and they're just like um this is a little on the longer side for me. Like I got a really short attention span. So it's not his fault. It's my fault. Brigade Type 20 pre-owns are a really good deal price wise. I'm not a big fan of the Brigade Type 20s. I'm not a big fan. I really like the Formex Essence Space Gold. Great everyday watch. Cooled out, more interesting than silver. If you ask me, a 41 millimeter is a no go. Yeah, the 39, 41's big, right? 39 is probably the sweet spot for the Essence. This watch, okay, this past week. I saw that. Interesting. I wonder how that plays at Richemont, etc. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at it. Maybe we'll showcase it for Watch Soup. I think Rolex would position Breguet accordingly. Swatch's biggest problem is their marketing, right? Agreed. My only concern might be that they become JLC stripped down for the movements, but no buyers straight up. So you think it would be? Yeah, I mean that could be a pitfall, man. That could be a pitfall. It could be a win-win though situation, right? I mean, like Breguet has nowhere else to go than up, right? Us watch collectors and enthusiasts, we know about Breguet, right? We know how great of a brand that is, right? And the history. But the people in the know are very, very, very small. It's a very, very small group within the watch community, even, right? I mean, think about all those watch collectors, and think about all the watch collector friends you have, and how many people have Breguet. Um, Look, I know I have quite a few collector friends who have Breguet, but I don't think that's normal. And I'll tell you this: I think like some of them took a long time to land on Breguet, right? Like especially like if you're starting off watch collecting and you're getting into it, and then like you get into like the more affordable timepieces, right? First, right? Then you're like um, making that jump from a $500 watch to $1,000 watch. How can I ever do that? And then obviously when you get to 1 or 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 is doable. But there's so many watches that I think most of. I'm making an assumption here. I think I got the pulse right on this. But most of us are not landing on Breguet after we explore Seiko. It takes a little while to get to Breguet. So that's why, like, I think, like, when you think about, like, I think with most people who are in the watch community, who are collecting, when you think about, like, how many friends in the watch community that I know that have Breguet, it's not a big number. And I think, like, in your scenario, like, what if Rolex, you know, well, how would Breguet do under Rolex leadership? Okay, there might be some like stripping of like some of the tech, right? With some of the movements, but also I think Breguet would definitely benefit from the exposure of the Rolex marketing, which is like top tier marketing across all industries, right? Not just the watches, across all industries. Bobby's attention span about the same as canned fish, canned goldfish. Could stick some hot movements in their 1908s and propel some Tudor dress line in an oversaturated Black Bay lineup. Yeah, but like so then you're gonna upmarket Tudor dress line, right? So you're gonna upmarket like Tudor dress line, I think, right? If you do that. And this Tudor is that like what is that what Tudor wants to like? Do they is Rolex going to allow Tudor to upmarket their dress line when they have Breguet? Maybe I mean I don't know. I'm just thinking. I mean like I haven't really formulated thoughts here on any of this. This is just like me like spitting out initial thoughts. And I will say this. Usually my initial thoughts are wrong. Usually my initial thoughts are wrong. That's why like I you know, try to keep a lot of like the important stuff. Like we're talking watches, this is a different story. You know what I mean? Not just like blah. But like, and most of like, important things in my life, like, my initial thoughts are usually incorrect. So I gotta like, whoa, in my head. I gotta work them out. I gotta work them out. So maybe I'm just like, throwing stuff out there. And there might be some other angles that I'm not thinking about, Christian. And you brought up a couple that I didn't even think about right off the bat. Um, Ben, this watch, that watch, is one of the most thoughtful watch YouTubers out there, with not obvious, so obvious Pete, though he seems to have disappeared to the ether. Yeah, man, like this watch, that Greg, yeah, I mean, like he's nailed it. He's done as a content creator myself. I admire a guy like him because he's really done this without having to um buy watches to review. you know he's done it without like I mean I know he's done some reviews, but like it's topical like what he mostly does. And okay, so not only it's that, but like it's the way, I mean his production is really nice and good and solid, and he's thoughtful. you know um it's a skill, man. Like I don't have that skill. I wish I had that skill. I wish I had that skill. I just talk about canned fish on a watch live stream, and it's 10:13. I should be in Betty by. And speaking of, I think I gotta call it a night. Anyway, this is great. Oh, we should talk about other things too from now on. Send me your ideas. You want to talk about canned fish again? Do you want me to come up with my top 5 favorite canned fishes of all time? I don't know, man. Maybe I will. Anyway, guys, have a great week. Love to see you guys on Wednesday night for another episode of Watch Soup with my boy, um, Clayton from the Watchdog Podcast. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for the comments. Again, have a great week, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care. Bye bye. End screen.